Alright, so inside this video I'm going to show you guys how to make a simple moving tank game where the character can turn, move up, move backwards. So the first thing you're going to need to do is you're going to need to make a costume. So when you log in and you create a game, first you're going to have to take out the cat, then you're going to have to make a new costume. So you're going to want to press the paint brush. So you can pick whichever color you want to make the inside of it. I'll do red inside this video. And then the outline color, which is what the outside of it will be. You're going to want to pick circle, or maybe square if you want to do a square tank. Then just go like this. So this is your first part. The next part, you may have made it so the circle is like over here. So you're going to want to move the circle right into the middle. You're then going to want to make a rectangle out like this so it's like a shooter. And try to make that as much into the middle as possible. So this is what it should look like right now. And you can just add some color to it, or some design or something, whatever you want. If you want to go like this, I don't know, whatever you guys want to do, but I'm gonna make mine like this. So that's my costume, that's the tank. You can make it more complicated if you want to, but that's the first part. The next part is, so when this thing's clicked, it's going to activate whatever underneath it. For example, if we have a forever thing underneath it, it'll activate the forever block. Now the forever block is a very important block. This one is more important, but the forever block is also extremely important. Because if you don't have a forever block, if you just have something like this, when it's clicked, when the green thing's clicked, if key space is pressed, then move 10 steps. When this thing is exactly clicked, see how fast it just turns off? Because that's how fast it just goes through the code. But if you have a forever thing in here, so you turn it off, you turn it on, the forever is going to keep on looping it over and over again. That's when we get into the if-then block. So the if-then block is also very important. It pretty much, if the statement right here is true, right here is true, right here, then do whatever is inside the block. So for example, if we have something like, I don't know, we'll use operators. So let's just say if 2 plus 2 equals 4, then move 10 steps. So when I click on this, it'll move 10 steps because 2 plus 2 equals 4. But let's say if we do 2 plus 3 equals 4, it's not going to move. So it's a very useful block. So if-then blocks are very useful and you'll use it for a very long time. Then we have a key pressed thing. So you can change it to any single key if you want it to be X or 3 or space like me. You can do whatever. And see how it's kind of like a rhombus in a way? So you can put it right inside there. It's very useful. Then we have a move 10 steps blocks. So that's pretty much it just moves 10 steps. So if we put it in something like this, put it inside of a forever thing, if it's pressed, it's going to move 10 steps. The higher or lower you make it, so let's say I only make it 1, and guess what? It's not going to move as fast as if I make it to 200, because then it's instant. It moves instantly. Now turn, it's just like the move 20 steps, or the move steps block, because the higher you make it, the more you're going to turn. For example, and then like this, if it's 15, if it's 60, it's going to move more. So this one's turn 60 degrees to the right, this one's turn 15 degrees to the left. You can change it, and you can find that inside the motion. They're all color coded. So let's say you see the light blue, just go to the sensing. You'll find out the light blue stuff. If you see something that's purple on here, then just go to the purple. Okay, let's go into the code. So here, so it's a one clicked forever, so it'll always happen. If W key is pressed, then move 3 steps. So it moves at a decent speed, but not too quickly. Another thing that you guys are going to need to put in is going to be pretty much the opposite of what we have. Just a second, I'm just erasing this. Pretty much the opposite of this, which is going to be when S is pressed. So make sure you change when the key space to W, then put a move 3 steps in here. Then when key S is pressed, it's going to move minus 3 steps. So you can see that W and S, they're right over each other. So in S, when you press an S, it's going to move back. Press a W, it's going to move forward. But then, if we could only move like this, what's the point of that game? That's when we need to use the turning ones. So if we turn, when we press D, it'll turn 4 degrees to the right. Right? Like this. Now, I want you guys to guess, what do you think the next part of this will look like? If you think pretty much the opposite of this, then you're right. You don't even technically need one of these. You can honestly just take one of these things and then just put minus 4 steps, and it will still work perfectly normally. So it can turn, then the W is just going to make it so whatever direction it's in, it's going to move like that. This is part 1 of this. I'm going to have shooting inside the next one, so you'll be able to shoot with your tank. Hope you guys go watch that video.